everyone, I'm Antoinette and I'm the author behind FrolicandCourage.com. It's my lifestyle blog where I talk about travel, food, and of course, my life. One of the things that I really wanted to do in my lifetime, it was my #1 bucket list item, was to go to Paris. I mean, I had been thinking about Paris, I had been dreaming about Paris. I even studied French in high school and in college, and my name is Antoinette, I have a French name, and yet I never actually had the courage to go to Paris. Like, it was crazy. So one day I just decided, why am I sitting here not living my best life? I need to just get up and just straight do it. And that's exactly what I did. I did extensive research for my first solo travel adventure to Paris, and I'm here to bring you some of what I learned. I wanted to figure out how I can navigate the city for the cheapest amount of money. I wanted to spend 6 days there, and I wanted to have a fabulous time, but I didn't want to do it without breaking the bank. And so I found out how to do it on a budget. Before I discovered the 3 cheap ways to save money on Paris public transportation, I first had to understand how the system worked. Paris is broken up into 5 different zones, each like a concentric circle, one within the other, from zone 1 all the way up to zone 5. So when people usually say, oh my gosh, I want to see the Eiffel Tower, I need to see all of the museums in Paris, what they're really referring to is zone 1. Zone 2 is where Stade de France is. Zone 4, you'll find the Palace of Versailles, the Chateau de Versailles. And in zone 5, you'll find Disneyland as well as Charles de Gaulle Airport. Within zone 1, the city center of Paris, there are 20 arrondissements, which are kind of like neighborhoods, and so they kind of snail out from the center with 1, and they snail all the way out to 20. Most of your Paris public transportation, like the metro, the tram, the bus, are within zone 1, and they reach out to all those 20 different arrondissements. You'll also see a couple of acronyms as you're trying to navigate the system. The first is RATP, which is the Régie Autonome de Transport Parisien, and this group runs the tram, the metro, the bus, within zone 1. You'll also see the acronym SNCF, and that is the Société Nationale de Fer Français, and this group runs a lot of the regional trains that take you from city to city within Paris and again in different cities in France. You'll also see the acronym RER. They're numbered A through E, so you'll see RER-A, RER-B, RER-C, and so forth. And this regional transport will take you all throughout zones 1 through 5. The metro buses, the trams, and the trains run Sunday through Thursday from 5:30 a.m. till about 1:15 a.m. And on the weekends and on the eve of bank holidays, they run to about 2:30 in the morning. The RER train runs daily from about 5:30 a.m. to 1:30 in the morning. And after the metro closes, there's what's known as a Noctilien, a night bus that runs from about 12:30 in the morning to about 5:30 in the morning. So those are the different acronyms you'll see, as well as the operating hours. What worked best for me when I went was I downloaded an offline version of the Paris City Center maps on my iPhone so I can have a copy of that whether I had internet connection or not. I also downloaded a couple of the different maps, so the RER map, the metro map, as well as the bus system map as a PDF on my phone so I can pull it up on iBooks. And I'll put links down below to all those maps so you can have a copy of it as well. When I arrived at the airport, I picked up this little thing, which is a Paris Poche map or a Paris Pocket. And essentially what it is just the RER, the bus, and the metro system all here for you to navigate. It lists every single station on there, as well as all of the connecting points, and I found that really, really helpful. So as I was navigating, I was always prepared. I had my offline map, I had the actual PDF version of the map, and I had this really cool Paris Poche Pass in my pocket so I can just go wherever I want it to go without getting lost. So now that you know about the different forms of transportation as well as the operating hours and the different acronyms, let's get into the 3 cheap Paris public transportation options explained. The first cheap Paris public transportation option is through the T Plus ticket system. And so it's basically a paper fare card with a magnetic strip on the back that you use for a one-way ride on the bus, the metro, and the tram systems. This little cheap ticket costs €1.90. It's super, super cheap because an Uber is going to easily run you about 8 to 10 euros just for a one-way ride, and ain't nobody got time for 8 to 10 euros. I want to spend €1.90 on just a single ride, which is valid from the bus about 90 minutes from the first to the second transfer, and it's also valid for about 2 hours between your first and your last metro turnstile station. They're non-transferable, but what you can do is pick up a pack of 10, which is known as a Carnet, which is essentially 10 of these little bad boys, all wrapped together in plastic, and you can go about your merry business that way. There are also discounts for kids under 12 years old, as well as groups of 10. Say you're traveling with like a group of 10 high school students with a chaperone, there are discounts for that, as well as large family. That you can check that out with one of the links down below I have. You can buy a T Plus ticket pretty much anywhere. They're at the airport, they're at the metro stations, they're at some even food counters. They're widely available. So when you get off the plane, say at Charles de Gaulle, just pick one up even at a kiosk. You can grab one and keep it moving. Also, as a note with your T Plus ticket, these are valid typically within zones 1 and 2, so you can't get all the way out to zone 5 with them. So keep that in mind as you're traveling. They're for shorter distances, and they're really quick, very efficient, and very cheap. So remember these tickets. My second cheap Paris public transportation option is with the Ile de France point-to-point and airport tickets. They look exactly like the T Plus tickets, except they allow you to travel all the way in between zones 1 and 5. The price of these tickets really depends on where you're going. So say I wanted to travel from Gare du Nord in the city center of Paris all the way out to Stade de France for a concert. That's about €2.80. You can also buy a pack of 10 of these tickets as well. And if you're trying to get from the airport, say Charles de Gaulle or Orly, to the city center of Paris, it's about €10.30 to get from Charles de Gaulle, and about €8.30 to take the bus from Orly Airport. This is a significant savings, everyone. Like seriously, you are saving a ton of money on these tickets. Easily, an Uber or a taxi ride costs a minimum, hear me out here, a minimum of €30 and all the way up to €55 just to get from the airport. Why would you pay? Why on earth? I did not want to pay that much money just to get from the airport to the city center, okay? Like, no, I was not going to do that. So I paid €10.30 to get from the airport, taking the RERB train to the city center of Paris. It's about a 45-minute to about an hour and 15-minute ride on the train just to get to the city center. But again, that's saving €20 at least off the bat. Do you know what I can do with €20? I can have a delicious steak. I can get a whole bunch of macaroons from Lauderie, and oh my gosh, you have to get the macaroons from Lauderie. Like, they are phenomenal. And I could do that with the extra €20 I was saving. Again, these tickets are not transferable. They have the same rules apply like the T Plus tickets. So definitely pick one of those up at the same places, at the airport, at a kiosk, at the RATP counter at the airport. They're readily available and for your use. So definitely pick one of those tickets up. My third cheap Paris public transportation option is with the Navigo Découvert card. You know, when I was doing research, I didn't really find a whole lot about this card. I found that very, very fascinating. I found one of the sites in English, but it had just a little bit of information. And I also found a website called parisbytrain.com, which you need to really check out. They have pictures, they have photos, they have maps from the airport all the way throughout the Paris public transportation system. So you need to check out parisbytrain.com. The link is down below if you're going to travel the public transportation system. But in terms of the Navigo Découvert, there's not a whole lot of information about it, and I will tell you why. Because you save a ton of money. This pass is essentially a fare card, a reusable fare card with a really cool chip in it. And all you need is a passport and your signature to pick one of these up. It costs €5 for the actual card, and get this, for a week, y'all, an entire week with unlimited access to the bus, the tram, the metro, and the RER train, transfers included, for an entire week is only €22.80. Y'all, €22.80 for an entire week. Oh my goodness, this is a significant cost savings, and I imagine that's probably why you don't find a whole lot of information about it. For reference, the Paris Visite Pass, which is publicized like all over the universe, for a comparable pass in zones 1 through 5, which you can travel in zones 1 through 5 with this pass, for 5 days is about €65.80. €22.80, €65.80. This card will save you so much money. It's valid until Sunday 11:59 p.m. and the card resets for Monday. So you can buy the current week's pass up until Thursday night, and Friday morning the next week pass becomes available. So keep that in mind if you're traveling anytime between Wednesday night, I'd say, and Thursday, Friday, and over the weekend. That's what happened to me when I traveled, but I was prepared because I did my research, and I'll tell you exactly what I did. So when I arrived at the airport, I picked up a Carnet of 10 tickets, as well as a RERB, Ile-de-France point-to-point ticket to the city center of Paris. So I spent my 14 euros 90 for T plus Carnet, and my 10 euros 30 for an RERB ticket. And then when I got to a metro station, because the airport somehow ran out of these little things, so keep that in mind as you're traveling, but you can pick them up at the metro stations as well as the RATP airport counters. So when I got to the city center, I went to a metro station and I ordered my pass, and the guy was so nice. He wanted to make sure that I understood fully that the pass was going to be valid on Monday since I arrived on a Thursday. I said, no problem, I completely understand. I would like to purchase one of these Navigo Découvert passes, and he gave me one, and it was great. So for that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was using my T plus tickets like left and right. I was going everywhere. Y'all, this was my bucket list trip, so I did not want to miss a single thing. So I used my Carnet to go here, to go there, to go everywhere, to go wherever I wanted to go and see whatever it is I wanted to see. And it worked out great. So when Monday hit, boom, all I did was tap this purple pass on the card reader and it let me through the turnstiles, and I was going about my merry business, happy as I can be, living my best life for the cheapest amount possible, and it was phenomenal. So you guys, if you lose this card, you cannot get it replaced, but it's valid for 10 years if you don't lose it, so which I don't think you will because it'll save you so much money. So it's valid for 10 years. So if you want to come back to Paris at any point in time, you can do that with this Navigo card. For bonus measures, I want to throw in a fourth cheap Paris public transportation option, which is something that seems kind of obvious, but you really need to hear it again. It is to just walk. All you have to do is just walk around Paris. Walk, 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 walk. But wait, it's not work. It's work, not walk. Still walk around Paris. Paris is such a beautiful, beautiful city, and it would be really sad for you to miss that just by not walking. You know, you'll see a lot of beautiful, beautiful streets, a lot of gorgeous shops. You'll run into great street musicians and artists. And the only way you'll find that is if you walk around the city. Y'all, it's great exercise, and you can take some amazing photos to bring back with you, y'all. So just walk around the city, and watch out for the Paris drivers though. They can get a little crazy down there. I don't know how they don't get into accidents more often, but I guess that's just how the system works. Watch out for the drivers, but other than the drivers, you'll have a great time walking around, enjoying the atmosphere. Grab some coffee, grab a croissant, grab one of those delicious macaroons from Laudry, and just walk around. You'll have an amazing, amazing time. So everyone, those are my four cheap Paris public transportation options explained. Again, when you get there, pick up either a T plus ticket or Carnet of 10, an Ile-de-France point-to-point ticket, or a Navigo Découvert pass. If you have any other cheap Paris public transportation options that I didn't mention, oh my gosh, please, if you wrote a blog about it, or you found another site, or you just know because you live there, or you know because you go, please put your links down below, put your comments down below. We're a community of travelers, so let's share with one another. Let's share this information. And if you miss anything I've said in this video, I wrote a very, very detailed blog for you to read and kind of peruse and take in at your own leisure. I also included the links to my blog. They're all down below, so definitely check those links out. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. And if you have any other questions or comments, again, put it down below and I'll get back to you. So now that you know all about how the Paris public transportation system works, what the different zones and arrondissements are, you also know about the operating hours, the T plus tickets, the Ile-de-France point-to-point tickets, as well as the Navigo Découvert card, and to just walk. So now that you know all this information, it's time for you to frolic, have courage, and just go. All right, y'all. I'll catch you next time, you guys. Bye.